Hi guys, in this video today we are going to be learning how to find intervals of the function that are positive or negative, and then we're going to be looking at X and Y intercepts. So let's go ahead and get started. So positive sections of the graph, when it says positive, it's referring to the Y values. So positive intervals, are where the Y values are positive. So another way to think about that is it's the parts that are above the x-axis. So the parts of the graph that are above the x-axis are positive intervals, and then negative intervals are, of course, the opposite. So negative intervals are where the Y values are negative, and it's the parts that hang down below the x-axis. As always, we use the x-axis as our number line, so we're looking for the x values of where it starts and stops. So the positive parts here are going to be this section here, which has an arrow there. It's going to be this part here and this part here. So all the parts that are highlighted in red, those are the positive parts of the graph, and that's because the Y values are positive in all of those. So the intervals that are positive, the first one, because this one goes off forever, it's going up, but it's also going that way, and that's the direction we care about because this is our number line. So from negative infinity to negative 2 is positive. Then it becomes negative between negative 2 and negative 1, so that interval will go down here in negative. Then it picks up again at negative 1 and goes to 2. The x values between negative 1 and 2 give us positive Y values. And then from 4 to infinity. So this rest of the side here is going to, all these x values are going to give us positive Y values. Alright, so then the negative part, my colors are hidden from me, so I can't change. There we go. Nope, didn't work. Okay, well, here's our parts that are negative. So we already have this one, negative 2 to negative 1. So the other one would be between 2 and 4. Okay, again, because that's the part that goes down below. Okay. So today you're going to be asked to write down positive intervals and negative intervals, and you're also going to be asked to find X-intercepts and Y-intercepts. So X-intercepts and Y-intercepts, instead of being an interval, so remember the interval means from x equals negative 1 to x equals 2, for example, on this one. If I want points on the graph, they're going to be ordered pairs. And so they'll look the same as this, but it means something different. This one means all the x values between negative 1 and 2, so that's all these x values. Whereas the x-intercept is where it crosses or touches the x-axis. So we have one at negative 2, 0, and one at negative 1, 0. But even though this looks the same as this, it doesn't mean the same thing, right? The x-intercept is a point, an individual point. This is the x value of that point, and this is the y value. Whereas this is all the x values between these two, starting at this one and ending at this one. So I've got another one here at 2, 0. And then I lastly have one at 4, 0. So there are 4 x-intercepts on this graph. There's also a y-intercept right here, and it looks like it's at about 0, 2.6. I'm just guesstimating. Maybe 2.75, but we'll put 2.6. Okay, so again, when you're doing x-intercepts and y-intercepts, you're just doing the xy coordinate pair of where that point exists. When you're doing an interval, you're doing the x value where it starts being positive or negative and where it ends. Okay, so let's try another one. So our positive piece is this piece right here that sticks up above. Okay, so the positive interval goes from 1, 2, 3, so about negative 3.5. And ends right here at negative 1. So that's the positive interval. The rest of this is negative. So from about -4 to -3.5 is a negative interval. And it has no y-intercept because it doesn't touch or cross the y-axis. It just has one x-intercept right here. And the x-intercept is located at -3.5, 0. Okay, so that's pretty much all we're learning today. So let's just do another example. So on this one, we have the positive parts. Anytime you see one of these graphs that goes off the page, then you're going to assume there's arrows and it's going to keep going. So these parts are positive. So our positive intervals are going to go from -infinity to 0, and then pick up again at 2 and go to infinity. Okay, so remember again, these are all x values, so it's talking about this is our number line. So all of these x values are going to have positive y values because that's going to keep going to the side as well as up. Same thing here. Our negative interval is going to be that piece in the middle that hangs down. So that's between 0 and 2. My x-intercepts are going to be 0, 0. Individual point in this case, that's the x value, and that's the y value of the x-intercept. I have also one at 2, 0. And my y-intercept, that's where it crosses the y-axis, right, is also at 0, 0. Okay, so let's just look at one or two more examples. So here we have the top of these. These are all the positive pieces. So to write the intervals, I again use the x values. So positive intervals are going to be between 1 and 3, 5 and 7, and 9 and 11. So those are the intervals. So from x equals 9 to x equals 11, all of the values are positive is what that means, right? Notice here that I didn't worry about square brackets or round parentheses. I'm just doing everything with round parentheses. So just like when we do increasing or decreasing intervals, positive and negative intervals, we don't need to worry about the endpoints. We don't need to worry about whether it's a square bracket or a round parenthesis like we do on domain and range. The negative intervals are going to be all these parts that are hanging downwards. So between 0 and 1 is negative. Between 3 and 5 is negative. Between 7 and 9 is also negative. That's our last one. So there's our negative intervals. And then we just need to write down our x and y intercepts, which there are many here. So we've got 6 x-intercepts. And again, we're just going to write the points, the coordinate pair, where they exist. So 1, 0, 3, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0, and let's see, 9, 0, and lastly 11, 0. So those are my x-intercepts. My y-intercept, there's just one, and it's right here at 0, -1. Alright, so that's pretty much all we're learning for today. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Have a great day.